Ivan Milat's case is one that sent shockwaves through Australia and the world. Born in 1944, Milat was a seemingly ordinary man leading a double life that ultimately claimed the lives of 7 innocent backpackers in the Belanglo State Forest in the early 1990s. The chilling spree began in 1989 when British backpackers Caroline Clark and Joanne Walters disappeared while hitchhiking to Melbourne. Their remains were discovered a year later in the Belanglo State Forest. The sinister pattern continued, with each victim meeting a tragic end, leaving authorities baffled. Later in 1990, when a young Brit named Paul Onions was backpacking across the vast lands down under. He was hoping to hitchhike from city to city to save his money for exploring all of Australia's natural wonders. Little did Paul know, he would soon come face to face with the living embodiment of evil itself. It began when Paul stuck out his thumb by the side of the road. A white Toyota Land Cruiser pulled up, and the driver offered Paul a ride. The man introduced himself as Bill and seemed friendly enough, so Paul hopped in. As they drove through, the mood strangely shifted. Bill stopped the car near an ominous-looking forest trail. Bill pulled out a gun and rope, yelling, "This is a robbery." Fear jolted through Paul's body. Without thinking, he burst from the car and sprinted down the road, but he escaped from the dark nightmare. Paul's terrifying tale spread through backpacking circles. More vanishings followed. Backpackers embarking on their Australian adventures, only to disappear forever into the unforgiving outback. Distraught families overseas pleading for answers, while Australian authorities dragged their feet. Paul's attacker was no mere thief. Behind his facade lurked the man whose crimes inspired the film Wolf Creek: Ivan Milat, the backpacker murderer. A sadistic hunter who saw fresh young travelers as ideal prey for his twisted games. Deborah Everest and James Gibson, a young couple from Melbourne, set out on a road trip with the hope of creating lasting memories. Their journey took a dark turn when they crossed paths with Milat, forever altering the narrative of their adventurous escapade. The forest, intended as a backdrop for their joyous moments, became the site of their tragic end. Simone Schmidl and Gabor Neugebauer, 2 German backpackers, met their untimely demise while exploring the Australian outback. Their families, thousands of miles away, awaited news that would shatter their worlds. The backpacker killer's ruthlessness transcended borders, leaving an international community in shock and grief. Authorities believe the romantic pair were lured into Ivan Milat's clutches under the guise of seeking a ride to one of these dazzling protected nature sites. Another German, Anja Habskid, met a similar sinister fate. Beloved daughter and sister, embarking on a trip of a lifetime down under with her devoted boyfriend, Gabor. Yet they too accepted a ride from the wrong stranger. The backpacker killer case had a profound impact on backpacker culture, prompting a re-evaluation of safety practices and precautions among travelers. The shared stories of these victims serve as a stark reminder of the vulnerability that accompanies exploration, urging the global community to prioritize safety measures for those who embark on journeys of self-discovery. Tourists found his charismatic hospitality comforting so far from home. And tragically, by the time they uncovered his true malignant intentions, there was no escape from Ivan's soundproof torture chamber hidden deep in the bushland. Based on scattered evidence, officials deciphered victims were chained inside this killer's private prison for days on end. Their tortured screams muffled as he carried out gratuitous rituals, binding them wrist to ankle with elaborate knots. From the victims' missing backpacks and cameras, all the way down to sleeping bags, water bottles, and travel diaries. Milat kept everything as ghoulish trophies, while leaving his prisoners' corpses callously dumped outside his back porch. The investigation into the backpacker murders was an exhaustive and meticulous process undertaken by law enforcement agencies. The breakthrough came in 1994, when a British backpacker managed to escape from Milat's clutches and provided crucial information to the police. Subsequent searches of Milat's property revealed incriminating evidence, including personal belongings of the victims and weapons used in the crimes. The overwhelming evidence against him resulted in his conviction on July 27, 1996. The judge handed down 7 consecutive life sentences, ensuring Milat would spend the rest of his life behind bars. Milat passed away behind bars several years ago, stubbornly taking his full body count to the grave. Thank you for joining me on this unsettling journey into the heart of the Ivan Milat case. If you found this exploration intriguing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more true crime content.